don't care what people say. I'ma rep him till they put me in the grave. Only cause he's a hard man, the creator of all things. He's the Prince of Peace, but yet he's still king. Homie, cause he's a hard man.
Hey guys, wanted to take just a quick moment, maybe for a little mini word or maybe a little word of encouragement for us today. But something that I've been thinking a lot about the past week is what God reminded me of when I first got saved and when things were kind of, I was adjusting to what it meant to follow Christ and how to walk in the correct steps and do the things that God had called me to do. But it always seemed that circumstances was something that tried to dictate that. And one thing I don't want is this circumstance, especially for our young men, to dictate the ability to be young men, to be powerful, godly men during this time. So the story we're going to be in, and it's going to be quick, I hope about 7 or 8 minutes, but it's in 2 Samuel 11, verses 1 through 3. And it says, "It happened in the spring of the year, at the time when the kings go out to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel. And they destroyed the people of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David remained at Jerusalem. Then it happened one evening that David arose from his bed and walked on the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful to behold. So David sent and inquired about the woman, and someone said, 'Is this not Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?'" And that story, I know it seems like this big, elaborate idea or story well, that's not going to happen to me. Well, I'm just a young man. I'm still a teenager. But I think if we take this in its entirety and we break it down to how it really can affect us, then we have to realize that the enemy's not always just coming after us for those big things, but he's trying to break us down just a little at a time, just piece by piece and bit by bit until he finds his way in and has his way in our lives. And that's been my prayer for our young men during this time, is that until things get back to normal, that they thrive and they seek this as an opportunity to push through and to be God's man. The first point that I'd like to make is David had become comfortable and he passed his God-given responsibilities to someone else. When we find ourselves running from our responsibilities, we look for other things to fill that gap. Men, we're made to be responsible for something. Even in this time, we still have responsibilities. And to be honest with you, shame on us for thinking that this may be a vacation. It's absolutely an opportunity to indulge in God's will for our lives, regardless of circumstances. The next thing that I picked up on is that David was lazy. If you'll notice, it says one evening David arose from bed. Guys, we're created not just to be responsible, but to be purposeful. The most dangerous thing a believer can do is live as they have no purpose. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, what everybody else is doing. We absolutely have our purpose. I want to encourage our young men to not be lazy during this time. And I know that may seem like a harsh word, but let's just be honest. We're men, and it is what it is. Don't be lazy in this time. Go cut grass. Go serve in your home. Serve your parents. Paint your bedroom. Indulge in the Word. Check on your friends. Stay in contact with your church group. Be who you're supposed to be, because when you're not, you will notice things that you're not supposed to notice. One day, I'd hate to know that a young man thought it was a good idea to stay up all night playing video games, sleep till 2 in the evening, and the moment he arose out of bed, the enemy had placed something in his path to go ahead and take his attention off of what God's will was for him that day. Don't notice those things, and even when you do, the Lord gives us an opportunity to be able to move away from them and seek Him in it. Psalm 119, 9 through 10 says, "How can a young man keep his way pure? By guarding it according to God's word. With my whole heart I seek you. Let me not wander from your commandments." So see, we have responsibility in that. This is not vacation time. This isn't, well, I'm out of school, I don't have ball, things are kind of lax at home. we've caught up on maybe some house chores and things like that. God's responsibilities are always there. They never go away. They never stop. It's a constant thing that the Lord lays on our hearts to be responsible and purposeful in. And I want to encourage you to do that, because if you don't, you're going to inquire about something that you shouldn't be inquiring about. And that's the third thing that David did. He inquired about something that didn't belong to him. In this case, someone that did not belong to him. And let's not think for a minute that it just messed David up, but it absolutely wrecked the life of Bathsheba as well. This is always where temptation begins. We notice something and we think, well, it won't hurt just to check, or it won't hurt just to click on that link, or it won't hurt just to look, or it won't hurt with just a sip or a taste, or maybe just a touch, or we use this excuse, well, I have nothing else to do, why not do this? Just because our normal things aren't exactly where they're supposed to be, God's normalcy is. He has a plan for us. He has a purity for us. He has a holiness that we're supposed to thrive and strive to be in and be purposeful even during this time. So in this time, why don't we take that moment just to indulge in what God has for us? How many times do we find ourselves saying, I would do this for God, or I would do that for God, or I would read more, or I would study the New Testament or the Old Testament, or I'd read a chapter that, if I just had time. Well, absolutely, you have time right now. And don't waste that with foolishness and the things that everybody else is doing. This is a time for us to be purposeful. This is an opportunity, I believe, that we've got. And it would be foolish to believe that the enemy isn't trying to make as many of us stumble as he can in this moment. And that's what he's always trying to do. But how much more purposeful can he be in it when we come to a place of confusion? And God is not the God of confusion. He doesn't intend for us to be confused, but he intends for us to stay in our responsibility and purpose that we have. So I want to leave you with this. Throughout this whole thing that's going on with this virus and all that, and all the normalcies that are gone, and how things are changing and how we have to adjust, there's one thing that you can always count on, and that's James 4:7. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So whatever you have to do, stay busy. Keep in contact with your connection group leader. Keep in contact with your youth pastor. Keep in contact with your youth group. Whatever you have to do, stay in the Word. Be prayerful. Focus on what God has for you in this time. But no matter what it is, you better submit yourselves to God. Resist the devil, and he'll flee. And that door of temptation is instantly going to be closed. And then there's a victory in your life that you can grow on after that. So I want to encourage you. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Man, I cannot wait to get back to regular schedule. If you know me, I'm a schedule-oriented OCD type individual. So this is kind of almost driving me a little nuts. But I think the thing that I miss the most is our students and our ministry team, and just being able to come together as a group. Man, I'm just ready. But I'm super excited to see about what the Lord has in this. When we do come back, I'm sure they've found purpose in what's happened, and doors that the Lord has opened up, and things that he's revealed to them through seeking after him. And I'm just really excited about it. But do not forget our responsibility in this and our purpose in this, and it's to be holy as our Father in heaven is holy. Love you guys, and y'all have a great weekend.
Dan, I can't hear me a bunch of stuff.